Hey gang, Jason from House of Jacobs Gaming coming to you with more Govee stuff. And the reason I'm coming to you with more Govee stuff is one, they've made a lot of updates to their app, and two, I keep getting a lot of questions about connecting to Alexa, connecting to light strips together, even though I've covered them in other videos. So to help answer a couple of the questions, they have done upgrades to their apps, and I'll get on that stuff right now. So some of the updates, let me pull up the app. It should be right next to me here in a second. There we go. So you'll just go to just like anything else when you get these Govee lights, you go to the App Store, you download the Govee Home app, and you go in, right? Get this cool little thing that comes up. Now, I've already selected all of my devices. So technically, I have 4 light bulbs in my overhead fan. You can't see. I have 2. I put Amanda's wall, my wall. My wife's name's Amanda. There are lights on the very back wall that I use for Just Dancing. And then there's desk lights. As you can see, almost all of these are Bluetooth except the desk lights. They're the only ones that I could connect to a home assistant. That being said, I have not connected mine to a home assistant, so we could technically walk through the steps together later on. But in the past, when you would do a light, like let's use the light bulb for example, it was very frustrating to me that I could only use the mic on one light. And I said, Govee, why don't you have a way to do this? Well, apparently I was not the only one saying that, and they listened. So if you go to Smarts, I guess it's called now, instead of Scenes, it used to be called Scenes, now it's Smarts. Okay, so let us add a new scene. What we'll do is, so they have schedule, switch class, RGB class, arming class, because they have security systems too, guys. They have security systems. So what you'll want to do is go through and pick what your class is. So if you have a lot of stuff that's the same model or the same model class, like Bluetooth, like I did for fan lights, I'll just put fan lights. We'll make a new one. I don't mind. I can delete it later, right? And then you select your devices. Well, I have 4 lights in my fan. Okay, this is all new. Now look, before you could not control modes and stuff in these scenes. Now you have all, and you can see the lights changed behind me, and I got this colorful light going on. All of them are now flashing in sync with each other because they're all on the same thing. If I do mic and I continue to talk, all 4 lights are flashing. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Let me see. So there's all 4 lights flashing when I talk. It's a little blurry because I'm focused on me. So there you go. That is something they added. Oh, let me go back in and fix that though. Now I have 2 fan light things. Anyways, I'll mess with it later. Wall lights. Now you'll be able to see the wall lights in the back. There are 2, as you can see here, my side wall and Amanda's side wall, that's 2 16-foot light strips, 2 separate ones. They're not connected together. You cannot connect, let me repeat this again. You cannot connect light strips through soldering if it's past the original 16.4 foot. If you want to have questions on whether you can solder or not, go back to one of the previous videos that you probably either came here on or my answering questions video. Outside of that, before you could not select scenes, and now look at all these scenes you can collect that you can do. You can turn them on from here. Let me turn them on. All right, so you can see that. Let me move this. So there you go. Oh man, this is gonna be tough to try and do both of these at once. Let me shrink this down for you guys. There we go. All right, so we have that. You can do music, so it's going with my voice now. You can see both light strips going. Colors, again, it's out of focus for a reason. We're focused on my beautiful face, okay? You can select all the segments, make them orange, and see it's doing this all off just one thing. So, scenes, we can select scenes, make it all foresty, and aura. Okay, so now they have this cool grouping thing. Super awesome. Helps with synchronizing all of your light strips together. if they're the same class of model. So those are both Bluetooth. When I tried to add the desk lights to this, they are not the same model or same class because they do have Wi-Fi, so they didn't work properly. You can still put those together. You just have to do a different type of scene, where if you go in here to smarts, hit add, you can do a general category and you can call it all lights. Okay, we'll just call this all lights. And then I can put in all of my devices, right? All into one thing. So you can see my desk lights, my side wall lights, and all 4 lights. Okay, there's a limitation. I will show you. Okay, let's select all those and these. Okay, oh! What does that say? Let's see what it says. Make it bigger for you. It says only 6 devices can be in the same Bluetooth. So it's okay that you can't fit them all, right? Because you can control them separately right here. So I have all lights, I have 0 in there. But if I wanted to, I could add stuff that is not in the same class. That's what you would use as like a general category, okay? So that is their new modes, or their new grouping capabilities. But what I found was super cool, besides that, I mean, that is super cool. Right now, everybody keeps asking me about syncing lights. That's how you do it. You sync them up using the new modes that they have, all right? In the do-it-yourself mode, all right, people were complaining that you could not save a color. Now look right there. It says, save a color. So once you make a color that you really, really like, you can actually save it in the do-it-yourself mode. So that is also one of the questions people had is, can you make a color and save it? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Yes, confirm that I want out, okay? I don't think you can do that under colors. I believe yes. So, I take it back. There it is in the color wheel as well. So in the do-it-yourself mode, you can add colors that you've saved. So it saved the color that is currently selected, which is orange. If I want to make it like this weird, please select a light strip. So we select them all, just cause it's orange now on the left side. And let's say we want to put it to this weird, that like blue instead of, hold on, let's go with like a magenta. There you go. And then you just save color. It saves the color down at the bottom where it says my colors. There you go. You can now save colors in this mode and do-it-yourself mode. You're welcome. And the last thing on Bluetooth for the new app, or the new app update, if you go, these used to only have, when I first got them, like 13 scenes, right? 13 scenes. You had music like this, where it flashes, and you have 4 different types of music. You control the sensitivity on how much it hears and which ways it does it. See, now it's a rhythm. Now it's a spectrum, so it's like flashing weird. And then you've got the rolling like that, okay? All right. If you go to colors, you have all your selections, right? That's not a big deal. You can select separately what strips you want done and turn those ones green. And as you can see, I have a magenta and green color, okay? Now, under scenes, this used to have 13. This now has something like 65 different scenes. So these are, I'm assuming that that's a deep sea scene. This is a ripple scene. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm assuming these were made by other app users and they kind of just adopted them as they went along, right? Some of them, they're just like little color stuff, you know, but it's kind of neat and, you know, really gives you something. This is a gaming one, right? So all of those are now part of the app, and as long as you have one of the Bluetooth RGBICs that I will link below and that I've linked and talked about extensively in my other videos, then you can do this, right? That is it for the new stuff on this. You can change the brightness. I think mine have it. Whoa, that is way bright. I had it way down because I was trying to do something else, okay? It usually sits right about there. All right, so let's talk about a question I continually get over and over. House of Jacobs Gaming. Jason, can I connect can I connect two strips together? Can I solder them together? Do I need to buy connection strip? Okay, with this new app, there is absolutely no reason that you should have to, the new app updates, there's no reason you should have to solder them together. One, the only way that I've gotten, that I've used solder for anyways, is if I had cut them in a different room, moved them to this room where I needed the extra length back, and I put the same exact piece back on that I cut. I tried using connectors. It doesn't work for junk. You get 4 little lights that work. I have not tried to solder the connectors on. So if you're trying to cut them and make them turn and all this other stuff, if that's something you want to try, by all means, I'm going to remind you, as I do every time I answer this question about cutting and splicing, the manufacturer says you cannot cut and splice these things to make them work. Let me repeat that. You cannot. I'm letting you know that I have done it, and there's solder back there, and I have another video on that, not showing you how to solder, but that I did solder them together. Again, not 2 separate strips. Let me be clear, not 2 separate strips, but the original piece from the strip that I cut off when I needed more length back after I trimmed it, okay? Have not gone past the original 16.4 feet that it had come on the strip, and I don't intend to ever do that. I'm not even going to attempt it. The app only lets you select 15 segments per strip, and I'm assuming that the power capabilities of the strips probably cannot support any more than the 16.4 feet that it originally comes with. So please, 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 unless you're really wanting to be some kind of experimental evil genius, do not do this. I'm telling you, don't connect strips together physically. There's no need for that anymore, because now you can control everything on and off, all synced up, as long as you have the same exact class of strip lights. You can link them together in the app. No more need to try and physically connect them, okay? I know I'm still going to get questions about it. It's not a big deal. So, how do you connect them to Alexa? I only have one set that can connect to Alexa. To answer your first question, your Wi-Fi has to be 2.4 gigahertz or at least support 2.4 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz is not a thing that these light strips support, okay? So if you come over into this is the only set that I have that's Wi-Fi, and I have not connected them. I don't know that I actually will, but they do give you instructions, and I want to show you where the instructions are at, okay? My desk lights, as you can see, are the only ones that have Wi-Fi, and it keeps going in and out because I'm literally trying to use the Wi-Fi for other stuff. Because I'm connected to this, but the Wi-Fi on the phone's working, all right? So when you first try to connect these, you need to have the Wi-Fi turned on your phone for the exact network that you plan to connect these lights to. It helps it to understand that it's going to connect to there. I tried to do it without that and could not get it to work, okay? Sometimes, again, the Bluetooth, it's kind of iffy on when you're first connecting them. Have your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth on. It should clear up any problems when you're installing. All right, so these are my Wi-Fi ones. Under here, I can turn them on. You can't see it, but it's behind my desk. Basically, the desk lights are just for me to have fun with. Okay, it has the same 15 segments, but mine has 32 feet. Both segments are automatically synced together, in case anyone's wondering. I can save colors, I can do all the fun things. This did not, however, get a scene upgrade. That's all the scenes it has. This is what the Bluetooth ones originally had. So if you're looking for more scene capability and you don't care about Wi-Fi, please go buy the Bluetooth ones, again, linked below. I'll link these too. The Wi-Fi ones are kind of cool because you can connect them to a home assistant. All right. So you come into the settings. You set up your Wi-Fi. If I push that, it'll actually show you my Wi-Fi network and my password, so it's not happening. Do it on your own. And then you have a user guide for the 2 home assistants that are supported. I don't know if any other ones are supported. I haven't seen it. And this does give you the product model number that I'm using, okay? So let's hit Alexa. Sorry if I set off your thing at your house. It says to bind your account, you have to go to Amazon and do all this other stuff. So you have to bind your Amazon account. And then it gives you a see more link methods of voice functions, okay? So what you'll do is you follow these steps. You can either select Google Home, Google, or the A word. And then you just go through and you follow these steps. It's as simple as that. And I know it works. I've seen other people set them up. It's not something I really want to do. I don't want mine set up, so I haven't done it. I don't plan on using any home assistants to run this. So, guys, we've had a couple things covered. We've covered all the app updates for grouping your lights together. Please don't ask me about physically connecting them anymore. I know you will. I know you will. And I'm just going to say, watch the video. It's not that I don't love answering questions, but I'm answering the same questions over and over and over. I've made extensive videos on this. Please go look another spot. Like, there's 3 videos for just these Govee light strips. And there's 1 for the Govee light bulbs. Barely anybody asked me questions about those. It's all about the light strips. So the app has been updated. You have a ton more modes for your specifically the Bluetooth light strips, okay? So just the Bluetooth light strips have a ton more modes now. You're looking at like 65-ish modes, plus like music and the do-it-yourself stuff. You can now save colors. You can group everything into controlling. Again, no physical need to connect them, and everything is all linked up. You can connect to Alexa. And again, please, I'm only repeating it so many times because it is literally asked me all the time. No, you cannot connect them physically past the original 16.4 feet. Company says don't cut them in the first place. I did. I soldered the original pieces back on, and that is the only reason it works. Okay? The only reason it works. Thank you guys so much for everything, for hanging out here. I will link the other videos back to the original product reviews. It's been like 7-8 months. These lights are still working. So please, like, understand that they still continue to work even, and that light in the back is probably super annoying at this point. But they still work after using them for 8 months, and I expect them to continue to work. I use them on a daily basis almost and have had no issues. My light bulbs, I've also had no issues with. None of them have burnt out. They've outlasted my regular LEDs in the living room. I replaced LEDs in the living room. I've already had 2 of them burn out. These 4, not so much, and I can have fun with the colors. Thank you guys very much for hopping on. Please give us a like, a subscribe, a comment on this video. Check us out on our other socials. And hey, you can check these lights out live on twitch.tv, House of Jacobs Gaming, where I'm doing Just Dance and a lot of other games. And I use the lights for like mood lighting and stuff. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time on House of Jacobs Gaming.